Hello, folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis. Today is something special because we are going to change a little bit the Saturday stream. I'm going to stream, but not as usual. So I'm not going to stream on to analyze the market live. Um, so in future, I'm going just to record another daily market analysis and give you the time to review this analysis and then afterwards to place your questions in my live stream. That's another approach, but hopefully that works because in the last few weekends I spent just too much time with a live stream, 1.5 hour, 2 hours, and I have a very stressy week. So weekends, it's the only time I can spend to rest, and I think that's maybe a very comfortable way for all of us. So let us see what's happening today. Very boring and very manipulative what Bitcoin is doing. Once again, I can show you exactly what they are doing. The whole price is controlled, very controlled. So they are let the price dump, they start to lift up, to dump again, and so on and so forth. So as you see here, they controlled, they didn't let the price go up much more than required. At the same time, they pushed the price up, and they are doing now exactly the same. So like they did here, for example, and here at the same time pushing the price up, 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 down. And just to maintain the price like they want. That's exactly what they are doing. So they push the price here so that we are not noticing any sell pressure from here. They just push the price down. They want it here just then afterwards. What they are doing at the moment is just to push the price up again. And here they started to push again a little bit more to the downside, and that's what they are doing. That's all the time. We are almost the little victims waiting for our funeral. That's so yeah, insane to be honest. But we know it's weekend. Weekend it's very hard. That's a good thing that Bitcoin is coupled on SPY because SPY it's really hard to manipulate in my opinion just because of the volume and also because it's just following DXY, so that makes everything easier for us from Monday to Friday. But weekends, well, I mean, it's a game of whales. We have the market maker. We need to see what the market maker is doing. As you see again, they are pushing down again. They are pushing with the price. They are selling in it. They are not pushing with orders. They limit it here again. Now they are pushing um, just someone is selling and you see someone is buying. So they are using this kind of method, not sure to accumulate. I mean, people were saying, yeah, they are accumulating. At the same time, when you are accumulating, someone has to sell. That's the way. Exchange reserves are rising. We will take a look to that. And we need to be very careful. It's weekend. They can liquidate us very quick. It doesn't matter what kind of leverage you are using, even with a low leverage of 10. We need to be very careful. It's really challenging because even I think we will see a price of 24, 25 in the short term before we will go down even more. We need to see the data needs to speak. If you don't feel comfortable with my content, I had to block someone because of that, because he was making some, well, I mean, feedback, even negative feedback, is very useful if you have some arguments. Just to say, you are changing your opinions because of the data. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm doing. The data is the truth, not my opinion, not my beers, not my whatever I think. It's the data, and the data can change because we have different market actors. If you can't handle it, just I don't know, follow people. Some influencers out there, they are just fitting some levels. They are telling you just up or down. Go there because I'm offering a different approach. Just to make that clear. Well, let us go and check what's happening today. In my opinion, short term, we should go down to the 21 and we need to see if it's going to hold. I think it's going to hold. They will generate more shorts, in my opinion, to liquidate them. But that's, as mentioned, just my opinion. We need to see what the data is showing. First of all, the wedge ratio 30 days moving average is not indicating any big step since yesterday. That could be interesting because usually when the wedge ratio 30 days moving average starts to retrace, it's when the preparation is done, and usually afterwards they should start to yeah, just to dump. Something I'm still expecting, and hopefully we are almost done. Um, Unfortunately, if we take a look to the weights ratio 1 day, it looks like they are still in such kind of channel, indicating it's the bottom of the channel. Today, maybe it goes up again. We need to see if that's going to happen because then I'm wrong and we are not done yet. In case tomorrow it goes even more down, that could maybe indicate we are done with the preparation. And as seen here, I mean, that was very accurate. That happened last summer, for example. We started to retrace here, as you can see, before the price dumped to its retest of the lows here, and the same happened in different times. So even here it stopped, it retraced, the price went down. So here it stopped, the price went down, and so on and so forth. It's always happening. When they retrace, the price goes down afterwards. Here exactly the same. Retrace, the price goes down afterwards. We retraced, for example, here that was up, up, so retraced. What happened? The price went down afterwards. If we would start to retrace, what would happen? Even if we go a little bit more higher, the price will retrace or will dump afterwards. That's how the 30 days moving average works, and that's why I think I'm the only one using the 30 days moving average related to the weights ratio, the daily one, because many are using different moving averages. For example, I'm just using the 30 days moving average because I was noticing some interesting patterns that help me to identify when they are done with the preparation and close before we can nuke. So yes, can we go a little bit higher? Yes, we can. We can go to 23. That's my expectations at the moment. We can even go higher. We can go to 26, for example. I don't know. I mean, the only thing what I can do is check the data, interpret the data, and check even more. Otherwise I really wouldn't check options data. I wouldn't care about that, but the options data shows me how smart money is trading. And if I see a short trade, a short-term trade with a big volume and premium, it's indicating me someone is expecting something in short term. That's happening in the past. It's going to work in the future as well. It's really accurate. Not perfect, but accurate. It shows us trends. I'm not the guy that's going to tell you we will go up to 22K and we will dump afterwards to 16, then we will go up again to 30K and then we will go. No, I can show you trends and I can show you some cap or money flows that could indicate you some trends and some levels maybe, but that's it. I can't show you anymore. And if that's not fine for you, I'm really the wrong one for you. That's how it is. I'm not going to change that because of you don't feel comfortable with that, to be honest. Um, we see that whales are again doing the same game, so they let the price go down, then they start to distribute even more. That's what they are doing all the time, all the time, all the time. It looks still more like distribution than accumulation, to be honest, but as mentioned, maybe I'm wrong. The 30 hours moving average is showing us it maintains a level above of 88. And usually a level above of 88, so at 88 indicates they want to maintain a price level. Usually when we go up to 90 and above, it's where the price starts to feel sell pressure from sellers. Something it's very controlled at the moment. So nothing we should worry about that. We know that a lot of volume also were mentioning they were expecting almost no activity for the next weeks and maintain a price range between 22.19 or something. So maybe they are right. If they are right, boah, it's going to be very boring. However, the stablecoin reserves on exchanges is rising. It rise by almost 700 millions since almost a week. But I mean, that correlates with the price action, and you know, that's what it does before it goes down again. So also here we need to be very careful because we are not minting more stablecoins. So no more capital is coming in. Only those who sold, for example, at 50 are coming in to buy right now and maybe to buy the dip and to sell afterwards. Also here, stablecoins, you can use stablecoins to buy bitcoins, but also altcoins. If you check, for example, some altcoins like Quant, it did from something like $50 to right now 70, I don't know. So it did really a nice gain already. So many are investing money also in stablecoins and altcoins at the moment. The stablecoin supply, as you see, declined even more and maintains that level right now, so nothing happening here. Also explaining you and indicating you more money are leaving the market. It's just, you know, it doesn't look great, to be honest. Okay, let us go forward. It's weekend, so as you see flow activity, we can skip that one. It's almost very, very low. And yeah, I mean, indeed, this morning, that was close after midnight, we had a big outflow indicating they sold a lot and a big inflow at the same time. That's what they do. So inflows to buy and outflows because they sold at the same time. If we go and check the minute time frame, usually we could see that. So they are noticing, for example, Bitcoin's coming in, and here, for example, they took profit, it seems, from their um, dump from 21.7 to 21.300 and had an outflow of 72 millions. Just few hours later, we received 50 millions. And as you see, yeah, so just to purchase all these bitcoins, they are coming in. That's what these guys are doing. But oh no, no, not 50, sorry, 5 million? Yeah, 5 million, sorry. 5 million. Um, so that's what they are doing, like here, for example, just to prepare and to buy, for example, the next dip, you know? So the price is dumping, they send 150 millions just to buy the dip and afterwards to create such kind of automatic rally. It's a tiny one, but that's what they do actually. So when we see such kind of stablecoin inflows, doesn't mean we are going to pump hard. Doesn't mean that. The last time we did that, it's long time ago. That was when we reached 33K, then we lifted up to 42 or something, and that was a case we received a huge amount of stablecoin, something that's not happening. Absolutely not. The last time was actually here with 2 billion, but in the past years, you see, when we reached the 17, and even here when we reached the 29, it was, I guess. Yes, it was the 29, sorry. It was the 29. And even here we received a lot, to be honest. We can see here a big cluster of stablecoin inflows, at the same time outflows, and a lot of bitcoins. People are bullish when they see they're withdrawing 10,000 bitcoins at once, and nobody is asking who is buying and who is selling, because you need sellers for that. And well, I'm fine with that. They don't need to make this kind of questions, but I would like to know who is selling, because it depends who is selling. It would indicate me if the future is showing more a nice bull run or not. So let us go to the next chapter. Well, let us take a look what's happening here. Maybe let us go. I never do that, but let us go and check what the daily is doing. And the most interesting part here is, first of all, if we check what the open interest is doing. The open interest is actually declining. That shows very well the blockchain whispers I was mentioning, that I was noticing less volume related to futures, and that's what it's showing. At the same time, we see the funding rate maintains its level. It's almost at zero, so between 0 and 1, I would say. So almost neutral, maybe, yeah, almost neutral, depends. But the most interesting part is the leverage ratio. And as you see here, the leverage ratio is once again reached a new all-time high. And that also doesn't let me be very bullish, because usually that was a big indicator of, well, at least a sharp price action. Something that some option traders are not expecting and wondering me a little bit. At the same time, we see here also very interesting, where we receive the biggest flow activity related to stablecoins, but also to bitcoins, to derivative exchanges, and we see it matches almost. Very, very interesting. At the same time, the open interest was rising, and since then it's declining. So even we had more Bitcoin activity than stablecoin activity in the last few weeks, it's it looks very quiet at the moment. It looks like, you know, the silence before the storm. So let us check the 1 hour time frame again, and here we can see, for example, that do we have red? Yeah, that the funding rate was declining, is lifting up. Now it seems declining a little bit just because of the price action. People are right now demanding more shorts than longs. To be honest, would be very careful, because it wouldn't surprise me if we are going tomorrow to pump up after we decline, for example, to, I don't know, 21 or something. So we need to be very careful. Even I am still bearish because of next week, because I'm I still I'm still convinced that SPY is going to decline very hard before it goes up again, and I'm still missing my 108 at DXY. Still convinced it's going to happen. So it would match everything. All puzzle pieces would match together. If we check, for example, here the open interest, as mentioned, it's declining. The leverage ratio at the moment as well. But yesterday it did a new all-time high. That's incredible. But if we check, for example, the Kingfisher liquidation map, we see we are and we have a huge volume and high leverage positions, longs. Also something I would say it's maybe bearish, but we don't know who is trading and placing these high positions. That's the thing. So let us take a look. For example, here we see we received some stablecoins to derivative exchanges, but nothing big. It's really usually weekends. We know it's not really big. If we check, for example, also the Bitcoin flow activity, also since just 2 days ago, very quiet and looks very flat. If we check now the blockchain whispers, even if it's indicating we are still having more shorts at the moment on Binance, and that's really a balance, and that's really useful um, because it doesn't match to the liquidation map, but just because the liquidation map is, it seems, showing us liquid or positions just placed in the last, I don't know, 24 hours, 48 hours, I guess, because it doesn't match, but that makes a lot of sense what Blockchain Whispers is showing here. And even the longs are growing at the moment because we had just, for example, 60 to 40, a very crazy long short ratio like we had before, but the opposite. So we had much more longs than shorts. And while the price is lifting up, more shorts were coming in. Right now, they are flipping again to longs because they see, we are not really dumping. And that's right, we are not really dumping. I don't know if you know my analysis I did some days ago, and I said we will go up to 22 or 21.8, and that's going to be our local top. Maintain that price range to distribute, and when they are done, just push the price down again. I think we are on track, but it's my opinion, my own interpretation. Make your own interpretation. So the same we are seeing here, but it looks much better, in my opinion, much realistic, is at Ethereum, indicating 50 to 50. So here on Bitcoin, traders still are a little bit more bearish, it seems. If we take a look now, for example, to the Kingfisher, I'm going to start a new one. FTX, let us start with FTX. It takes a little bit as usual, but maybe no, I can't show you another chart, otherwise it's going to cancel it, I guess. But um, the thing is, they are using any kind of tools to manipulate a little bit the sentiment of traders, and that's a big problem because that's some traders will maintain here and some traders will lose money and will leave, and they are not going to come back very soon, even if they pump up afterwards because of the economy situation. Ah, look, interesting. Oh yeah, short positions are coming up right now. It wasn't the case just few hours ago. Also interesting. However, we still have this cluster here. It's really huge, and this one. But for me, those two would be in my scope, we need to see what's going to happen here, because one of my theories, and that's, as mentioned, just a theory, is they are placing here, and it seems it reduced in volume. They are placing here different long positions with different leverages. On FTX, to be honest, I don't know what's the limitation of leverage. If they have a limitation of 20, 30, whatever, I really don't know because I'm not trading on FTX. Maybe one of you can tell me that. However, it seems they use different leverage. And of course, the liquidation is always showing you the volume including the leverage. So 5 million with a leverage of what, 100 will be 500 million. Here it's indicating, for example, 250. So if that's, for example, a leverage of what, 100, and the whale just invested 2.5 million, for example, here, it's now indicating here 250 millions. That's how it should work. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense at all. So if that's the case, that means this year could be a trap. While they are taking profits from mid and low leverage shorts, they push the price up, they push the price up. They will take profit. They let them open here. Okay, it's for them. They invested here less money, but are using high leverage, and their money are here, here, and here with a leverage of 10, 20, 30, or 40, or whatever. Okay, so the trick and the trap, if my theory would be right, is now they will start to short, and to increase here a big short position will bring more shorts here, so we need to track that. When they are done, they will push the price down. Afterwards, they should be declined a lot, in my opinion, and that should rise then. And they are going to wreck all these own high leverage positions, because that's what is going to create the sell pressure afterwards. They don't need to sell a lot of bitcoins. They just need to liquidate these high leverage positions they placed. So just to imagine, simple math, you have 5 million, you use a high leverage of 10, means your liquidation volume is 50 millions. So you don't need to sell bitcoins in worth of 50 millions, for example. It makes more sense to invest 5 million and use a leverage position. And as mentioned, it's just a theory, because it's very hard. I mean, only insiders can confirm that, but it would make sense. In case that's how the Kingfisher works, I would say, if I would have that money, I would do exactly that, just to manipulate the market. So let us take a look to to Binance. Sorry, not Bitfinex. Also here it takes a little bit. So that's, as mentioned, just a theory. Oh, look. Oh God. That was quick. That was extremely quick, because let me check what I have posted today. It's absolutely new. That's absolutely new. Check what I tweeted today. That was Binance. Oh, that was Binance today. And look now. That's huge. So maybe I'm right. They are declining in longs positions, but usually, okay, maybe I'm not that right, because otherwise the high long positions should keep open. That's interesting what they are doing, but that's a huge short position. If I'm right, they are going to go up to liquidate the that position instead. Oh Jesus, we need to see. But however, that's surprising me right now, and it looks completely different to FTX. Even on FTX, it's rising as well. Hmm, very interesting. Let us go and check options if we can find anything there, but I'm going to place that chart right now on Twitter. Okay, let us go forward and take a look to the option market, but I'm really a little bit shocked because I have tweeted today the comparison between FTX and Binance liquidation map, and the short positions were it was extremely flat, and now to see such a high leverage position, if I'm right, they are going to liquidate them. If I'm wrong, and that works like it should work, they are just bringing short position, high leverage short positions to push the price down afterwards again. We need to see if I'm right or wrong. If we go up, they liquidate the same. I was right. If they push the price down, I was wrong, and it works like it should work. So let us see here, and we have here, for example, our gamma walls. We have a 20K, still the big one, and a 22, also the big one on the cold side. But we have a 23, a 24, and even 25. So it's really big. The distribution here is between 22 and 25, and just 20. So yeah, 20 and 21. So even to go down to 20 before go up to 25, I really don't know. But I wouldn't. I mean, that's interesting to see where I can receive some resistance in the price action, but not more, not less. The GAGs declined from 51 to 31. I don't know actually why it declined, because the price action is really neutral. But let us check the 3rd month one. Just because of that? Okay, that's crazy. It was 63. It's now coming down to 30. Okay. I don't know how to interpret that, to be honest. So I'm not doing it. Let us check what happened here in the last 24 hours. Bull call spread 876, short strangle 600, custom strategy 280 for a weekend. I think many of them just are from yesterday. So let us take a look here. So let us just check everyone, because it's not that much, and to be honest, it's really relatively for a weekend big volume. Something it's surprising me. So let us see if we can find something, yeah, from yesterday. Sold, 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 sold. 19, so they sold here. Well, it's not big volume. Also here, September. That's bullish, it seems. The problem in custom strategy, you don't know what's behind. That's actually the problem. So let us start for those who are not paid subs. The definition of different strategies. So the bull call spread, for example, has the goal to profit from a gradual price rise in Bitcoin. So they are not expecting to make two, three, $4,000 just scam pump, go up. they are really expecting to have um, just such kind of little trade range. So, for example, and just to explain that the maximum profit that these traders can do is by realizing in Bitcoin a price above of this strike price of the short call at expiration. So if we take a look, for example, here, so they need to be above, means here above of 24K until December. So it's everything December here, indicating they have a lot of time until the price has to be above of 24K. That's okay, that's fine for me, but to be honest, it's December, so it's not useful. I need something short term. Let us go to the bear call spread and let us make exactly the same. The goal of the bear call spread is to profit from neutral to bearish price action in Bitcoin. So it maintains that price level or even it declines. Also here it's actually um, yeah, very similar to the other strategy. So the maximum profit here is realized if the Bitcoin price is at or below the strike price. The strike price in that case is also 24K, and we see it's also December. So I guess it's the same trader that is expecting to see a price above of 24K or below of 24K. The thing is here he spent just yesterday much more. If we check, for example, the last 2 days, we will see he spent much more money with exactly the same, sometimes 23K and so on. That's custom strategy. Let us check here the 2 days. We will see the bear call spread 1.7 million in premium, just in premium. The bull put spread, for example, where is the bull put spread here? Bull call spread 1.55 million. So it's almost equal. They don't actually know yet if the price is going up or below, but they still think that until December the price is going at 24K. It matches very well, to be honest, with the forecast of the Deutsche Bahn indicating until December Bitcoin could go up to 28K. It doesn't really match to JP Morgan that's saying the bear market is almost done. If the bear market is almost done, means we should go up afterwards. And afterwards means, I mean, we are trading at 21, 22, 30, 40, 50. So we need to see. It seems even option traders are not really um, it's not clear to them what's going to happen next. They know we will lift up, but they don't know when exactly, and it can take a month. So be very careful. I'm still thinking 23 could happen, but yeah, I mean, the data is showing us the truth. What I think, it doesn't matter. So never trade what I'm saying. I'm telling you that almost at every analysis. So the short strangle, for example, is a very boring strategy because the main goal and to profit from this strategy means that we don't have any price movement or just a little price movement in Bitcoin. And let me check. So that means that, for example, here the maximum profit is earned if the short strangle is held to expiration. So this guy is here, and that's really extremely useful for me. For example, these guys here are really yeah, these guys and even these guys, it seems it's the same, are indicating we will move between 20 and 24K until July 22nd. These guys here are even indicating we will have such kind of trading range between 18 and 23. This one is not that big volume, but however, 21 and 23. So also that would match, to be honest, and would indicate because it's not the first one that I identified indicating maximum 24 and even 25, and then go to a lower range. So August could be bearish, it seems, but also here we need to see how much flows are coming in the next few days and weeks. Short straddle. And short straddle is another one in December, even if it's big volume. And the short straddle has also, it's a very boring one because also here the maximum profit from it is if the price doesn't have any movement or just a little one. So also here that's not really cool, to be honest. And the maximum profit is earned if the short straddle is hard to expiration. The stock price closes exactly at the strike price and both options expires worthless. Means this guy is expecting end of the year 25K. You're spending almost 230K for that one. Brave guy, really brave. But also here would match very well to the Deutsche Bank and last to what JP Morgan is indicating, or some other big experts, of course billionaires, indicating we will see 150,000 or even more until end of the year. But we also know, thanks to Jan Wüst, that's another analyst on Twitter, and he analyzed where the buy pressure and sell pressure is coming from. And he was showing that European and even Asian is selling while the US time is more on the bullish side. Could be also very interesting because if JP Morgan is thinking we can do, I don't know, 100,000 until end of the year, and the Deutsche Bank is saying 28, maybe it's a little bit biased. So we need to be very careful also with that kind of information. Let us go to the next chapter. So if we take a look, for example, here we see, let me just use my trend line. We can see, for example, that there are, as mentioned, in such kind of distribution. Now, let me check that. For example, if the X since then indicating negative CBD, also the coin margin contracts indicating less. If we go to the 30 minutes, maybe we can see that better because that looks like they are selling huge, but it's not the case. So they maintain, they went up here, are selling right now those who they bought here and are selling, distributing. Why, for example, the aggregated is going up more and more. The most interesting part here is why the coin margin contracts, so the Bitcoin margin contracts, are showing, it seems, more a very bearish sentiment. That's while, for example, the stablecoins one matches very well to the aggregated. So what's happening here? Hmm. Why use your bitcoins to push the price down? I mean, of course, if you want to accumulate, that's a good way. The price looks almost neutral, sideways run, push the price down, but why to use your own bitcoins for it? Why not stablecoins? Wouldn't that make more sense? Hmm. I mean, if I want to lift up afterwards, would I sell my bitcoins? Because, I mean, they will be liquidated. If they are going to short and we lift up afterwards, what will happen? So it's really interesting what they are doing. It looks like, I know it sounds very bearish again, but we know what FTX loves to do, and even the market maker. Sideway run, quick accumulation, dump afterwards. They did that several times, and that would explain why they are using Bitcoin collateral, because afterwards the price will dump, they will make gain. But never trade my interpretation or never trade my Jesus. It's so stupid that I have to tell you that now every 5 minutes, but just because of some of you are, I don't know if you are not watching my analysis, but then I receive some, maybe it's a very small emotional statement right now, but stupid comments, really stupid comments. I'm reading them, and afterwards, every time I'm feeling like you wasted my time. I'm so sorry to say that in that way, but it's straight. Um, However, we will see. It's my trend line, and it works very fine. We had a deviation here, like a bull trap. It's declining. It will retest, it seems. 21,700, it looks like, but it's going to fail again. If it fails again, we will go down. Maybe that explains a lot what they are doing. Let us take a look, for example, right now to what is happening to the fund flows of different entities. Well, to be honest, also here, nothing big, nothing. If we check the minute one, also here we see, oh, very flat. Saturday is usually also a very quiet day. We had acceptations in the past, of course, but usually it's very quiet. So if we have some price action, I would expect tomorrow, but we will see. However, the market maker is declining, as you see here, it's declining its balances again. So it was a preparation. He bought again here the dip even more, and now it's declining while the price is going up. The question is just distribution, or is he going to nuke afterwards? Something he did in the past also with the sideway run before. And he is not the only one, because even these weights here did exactly the same. He is the market maker is usually using high volume. So if we check, for example, I mentioned he rised by 40,000 bitcoins, and now he declined by 30,000 bitcoins. So if he's not accumulating, it's also surprising me, but uh, he's not accumulating. And these guys here, they raised its balances from 384 to 387, so 30,000 bitcoins, and now they are 384 again. So declining again by 30,000. We had a lot of volume yesterday just because of Binance promotion with zero fee on spot transactions, and maybe they sent some bitcoins and also sold because we had a huge volume. But if that was wash trading, I mean, then it's impossible to track them. However, it seems they are using more, at least the market makers using more OTC at the moment, because I'm noticing big OTC, or I was actually noticing bigger OTC activity here. Um, and yeah, partly bearish, sometimes bullish, not really sure if usually fund flow activity here means they are sending bitcoins. So it seems they are more selling, they prepared the pump, send the bitcoins, and start to decline afterwards. Like here, the top, and then go down again. And now it's rising again, so in my opinion, we should decline afterwards. They're using more OTC. Maybe they know that Inspo is tracking them. However, if TX fund flow the last time was yesterday in the morning, since then relatively low. Gemini rising and fund flow activity indicating more Bitcoin transactions, and even Bitfinex almost nothing. I can, for example, here able Binance also, and it matches very well because the fund flow of centralized exchanges is declining, while the fund flow of OTC or it's maybe I have to clear that it's the network token transactions. Usually, if you have a centralized exchange fund flow activity declining and the network rising, it is a potential indicator of OTC trades. So just to make it clear. But it works very well because if you check then the price action, what it happens while the centralized exchanges didn't have a big activity, it's indicating someone trade from DeFi, from OTC, whatever. Well, that's it. Let us check the exchange walls. I'm not going to bring some personal conclusions today because, in my opinion, it doesn't make any sense. We will have our question stream later on in few hours, and then you can place your questions. If we check, for example, here the Bitcoin exchange reserves for spot exchanges, also very interesting that it looks flat. They started to sell, yeah, 60,000 less on exchanges. Yeah, how many they accumulated before? I mean, and nobody knows exactly. I mean, we don't forget the cold wallet by Bitcoin, where we still have 100,000 Bitcoins there, and nothing is happening with them. They are still there. I don't know if CZ was lying, telling us it wasn't Binance that bought those 100,000 Bitcoins, because his statement was very clear. He said the cold wallet is linked to deposits on Binance. If that's the case, means those 100,000 Bitcoins should appear here on Bitcoin exchange reserves. They don't appear here. So CryptoQuant maybe are not tracking this cold wallet. That's possible. I will maybe just send an email to CryptoQuant to ask, or CZ was lying and Binance is buying bitcoins actively. That could be also possible. So, but however, in this week, we can see that since July 7th, we reached a new low level of 1,019,000 bitcoins on centralized exchanges. Since then, it's lifting up, and we have right now 1 million incomplete data. Well, then let us use the complete data. 1,035,000 bitcoins, indicating we have 16,000 bitcoins more on exchanges. So usually when that happens, that means that whales are selling bitcoins to the exchanges. Every time when that happens, afterwards we had a dump. I will show you that. Can we make, okay, and price action? Oh, perfect. So exchange reserves lifted up, afterwards the price nuked. Also here, for example, we can see that very well. When exchange reserves lifted up, afterwards we nuked. Afterwards lifted up, the price nuked, and so on and so forth. So it's not accurate because inflows, outflows, you never know who is operating these inflows and outflows, where is the money coming in, or the bitcoins, for example. But you know me, I'm using different views to complete a whole picture and to support your trade strategy. That's the only thing. On Ethereum, it looks absolutely different. I don't know what happened here, but that was really huge. If we had here, for example, 11.5 million Ethereum on the exchanges at the same time, they declined by 600,000 Bitcoin, 600,000 Ethereum almost. Wow, that's really big. I don't know why that happened. It seems, you know, they were buying all the time, but why not on Bitcoin? Means they are accumulating much more on Bitcoin. It's not only 15 or 16,000. That's something we can't figure out, unfortunately. And that's impossible with our tools. I will keep if you find any application where you see with new metric analysis or something, something like CryptoQuant, just send me a DM. I'm always checking for new platforms. So let us go forward and check the exchange walls. So that's on Coinbase. We see there are here still. It's just incredible what they are doing even here on Coinbase. You can see that that's exactly the same I was showing you on Binance because it's really crazy what they are doing. You see what they are doing, just pushing the price up and preventing to let the price go down. It's pure manipulation and well, well, I don't know if it's really easy to say it's manipulated because it's okay if they don't if they have the money, if they can prevent that, why not? If we don't have more sellers, then the market is not that bearish, right? Just to be honestly, it's what it is. However, to the upside, we just have here 25,000 a wall, and then to the downside, the next big one, 19.5. Deribit. Deribit here at 20,600. That would my personal expectation if we dump to reach 20,600 and then check what's going to happen next. And and that's it. Yeah, that's it. They removed all the walls they had there. They have a little one here, but that's really 22.2. It's very tiny one. Bitstamp. Bitstamp here, even at 20,800, nothing to the upside. Binance Spot. Binance Spot looks more interesting. Again, um, you can see what they are doing. I have tweeted about that and so on. So it's clearly they want to let the price go up, but controlled. At the moment, they are not controlling to the upside, indicating they are not expecting big buy action, more sell action, and that's why they protect to the downside, not to the upside, like they did here. Here they were really preventing to let the price going up. I don't know how that works. Maybe algos or something. I really don't know, but it happens very quick. So yeah, the next wall here will be also 24 and 22,500. to the downside a little bit at 21, but the next one 20. And that's it. Yeah, they want to push up, so I think we will go up again. And yeah, Bitfinex. Bitfinex spot. Nothing really changed here, just 22,400 and of course here 23, 24 and wow, okay, that's crazy. They really don't want to let the price go down. 21,200 would be the maximum. That's so crazy. That's really crazy. So it seems they want to push the price up to 23.7 or something. Distribute there. Wrecked some shorts, maybe then some longs. I really don't know. They removed their wall at 17. We still have at 16.1. And we have here wall at 18. Well, you see, 19.3. This market is really becoming. It's sad. I remember when I have started with all that. I don't know if I was just so ignorant not to see how they are manipulating the price. Maybe, I guess. But that's really crazy. FTX perp. Big wall at 22.2 and a lot. So it seems they are doing the opposite of Bitfinex. They really don't want to let the price go up. And they did here exactly the same like Bitfinex. And afterwards you see what happened. So also here a lot of activity. That's really wow. And also here 25. So it wouldn't surprise me if they want to push up hard or something. I really don't know. Kraken also doing exactly the same like FTX. Perp at 23, waiting there a lot, and of course 25. And 19.3. So we need to track them if they are going to open walls to the upside or downside. 24 and 25. So 24, 25. And also here you see very controlled everything. Bitfinex derivatives 23, nothing. Oh, that's it. 23 and that's it. Kraken futures, nothing. FTX spot, also here, that's crazy. They have just a wall at 22.8 and then 20,500, 19.6 and so on and so forth. Still huge walls here below 17k. I don't know if they want to prevent a price below 17k or if they are waiting to get them filled. I really don't know. Also here interesting that the CBD didn't rise a lot. It looks like, but look what they did before, that was really big. And that's not what they are doing at the moment. Unfortunately, it takes a lot to load, but the CBD, you remember, we had this sideway run and they were accumulating and then dumped once very hard. So right now they are not really accumulating and we are having such kind, we will see. So it wouldn't surprise me if we maintain 22 to 18 like one option flow was indicating for a while. And the last but not least, Binance Futures. Also here, wow, at 20,500, even here 20,700, and then wow, also a lot, 22,500 until 23. So don't want to let the price go up. As soon as the price goes up, you see here also very interesting how the volume for these orders rised to prevent to let the price go up. So if we check that, also very interesting. And that's it. I hope it was useful for you. And in 2 hours, we will have a stream of 30 minutes. Just send your questions to Mughal, for example. I will open this stream 30 minutes before. So you have 30 minutes time to place your questions. Mughal can collect your questions, or if I don't know if Mughal is online, but in case he is, he will do that. Otherwise, I will do that. And then I will reply to all of you with your questions. Of course, if nobody is going to make any questions, I'm not going to offer any stream because for what? So big love to all of you and much more love to all people out there coming from Sri Lanka. Um, and yeah, so trade carefully and they try to push up again the price as you see. And yeah, so we will see us later on. Bye bye, your Inspo.